ipmnation.com. Stay tuned for further instructions. You are receiving a remote transmission from ipmnation.com. Stay tuned for further instructions.
Throw away when conformity comes. When conformity That was Fate, and the name of the project is Davola. You're listening to Remote Transmission here on the IPMNation.com live channel, just a little bit after 10 o'clock in the Eastern Time Zone. And I have on the phone with me right now Mr. Aaron Cloutier. How are you, Aaron?
Good, man. How you doing, man?
Great, great. Tell us about your project, Davola. Is that basically you? Do you do everything in that band?
Yeah, it's just a solo project. I started a few years back. I wrote all the songs, played everything, programmed the drums, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's my little narcissistic vision.
Yeah, no, it's really good stuff. It's
Thank you.
really heavy, kind of technical. Definitely dig it a lot. And I've had the pleasure of seeing you actually play guitar in person, and I know that I know how good you are. And so, do you do everything yourself on all the Davola recordings?
Yes. I mean, aside from playing the drums, those are programmed, but all the vocals, all guitars, the bass, everything, that's me.
So you're one of those guys who can kind of do anything musically.
I can do anything one thing at a time, I guess.
Sure. I understand. How many songs have you recorded?
Well, for that, the songs that you were sent, that was part of a 9-song album.
Okay.
Called Dichotomies, which was released last year on iTunes. I've got a ton of more stuff written, though, and it's being demoed right now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's a lot of stuff on the back burner.
And for people who want to find you online and that material, it's Davola, correct?
That's correct.
And where does the name come from?
It was actually, I was in Italy, and I was with some friends. We were out drinking, and there was this type of wine that's called Davola.
Uh-huh.
And the name just kind of lit me up. And I was like, that's cool. That's cool. I think for some reason I want to use that, but I didn't have anything to use it for at the time. But I don't know. I guess it's just a very different name, and it sounds like a name that sums up what the music sounds like to me.
Okay. And where are you from, Aaron? You're calling us from New Jersey, is that correct?
I'm actually in New York City right now on the
nice.
Lower East Side. But yeah, I'm staying in New Jersey at the moment. But as you know, I'm originally from New Hampshire.
Yes, absolutely. And you just finished, as I found out via text message the other night, you did some engineering on the new El Nino album, is that correct?
That's correct, yeah. I was fortunate enough to come down and help track vocals for the new El Nino record, Dead New World. It was a fucking blast.
Yeah, it must have been, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah. Am I allowed to curse on your program?
You absolutely are. It is internet radio. You can say whatever you like.
I'm so fucking relieved.
Feel free to express yourself. Absolutely. How did you get involved in that project? That's pretty cool working with those guys.
Yeah, I lucked out big time. I've known the guys for a little while. I actually worked with them on a few projects. Actually, my record, the Davola record, was actually mixed and mastered by them at their studio. To sum it all up, it's kind of a long, crazy story, but I met them about 2 years ago working on a project with a friend that I met online, collaborating with online. And he knew the guys. I hadn't met them yet, but I agreed to go down and track vocals and guitar for this project. And, just kept in touch, contacted them a year later, asked them if they'd be interested in, mixing my stuff. And then from there, we kept in contact. And then I went to school for audio engineering and needed an internship. And then that's where I landed. They said, yeah, we'd love to have you. So definitely lucked out on that one.
Absolutely. That looks good on the resume, huh?
Yeah, feel very fortunate about it.
What are they like to work with? Did you really interact with the whole band, or was it mainly, you mentioned that you tracked vocals, was it mainly the vocalist, or did you work with everybody?
Primarily I worked with the vocalist, but this record was very interesting because it was made with, all the band members were making this record in separate parts of the country at the time.
Really?
Yeah, we were tracking vocals and bass at their studio, Sound War Studios in Hoboken, and guitars were being tracked in Denver, I believe, and drums were being tracked in Texas, if memory serves correct. So yeah, it made for an interesting time. It was very challenging, you know.
Absolutely.
Definitely. I mean, anything like that. Obviously, the biggest challenge is going to be like the communication thing.
Sure.
Nobody's in the room together, and especially, you know, seeing as this record was self-produced, there was no producer or anything like that.
No kidding.
So everybody kind of had to be self-governing and you know, keep an eye on each other and all that. So
did that make things more challenging for you in your role, engineering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. It was a great learning experience, though. Definitely a great learning experience, and just, you know, it definitely got intense. It was definitely a crazy good time, though.
Yeah, good. How long did the process take?
Let's see. We started, I think pre-production started in late June,
Okay.
I want to say. And we finished the record, we finished tracking in late September, I believe.
Okay.
So, pretty much nonstop. I mean, there were a few setbacks. Christian, the singer, he had some medical problems with his back. He actually had a few discs in his back that ruptured. So he was out of commission for a while, and that set back a tour that they were supposed to get going, which set back the record. And so a lot of crazy stuff was going on during this, but we managed to get together and make a killer record.
Now, for our listeners, if you can just clarify something, you mentioned pre-production and then the tracking. Tracking, of course, I'm sure people realize that's, you know, recording the vocals that you hear on the disc. But for those who may not know, what do you mean when you say pre-production? What part of the process is that?
Oh, basically, just the guys. They actually did meet up in Hoboken for about a week or so, just, you know, writing songs and
Sure.
you know, just like demoing the songs, getting like the rough outlines of all the songs, you know, recorded so everybody knows, like everybody's on the same page, like
Right.
that pre-production. And then from there, the songs just kind of grew and grew and grew as time went on, and little changes here and there, and you know, it was very cool to be a part of that from the beginning, because it's like you see one song and then all of a sudden you see like it take a 180.
Sure.
Something completely different. It was just awesome.
In my experience, from what I've observed, and I'm curious to know what you think about this, people might be hearing this and be really surprised that an album would be made that way with the band members not all together, you know, but scattered in different parts of the country. And I've long been under the impression that probably happens more often than people realize. Would you agree with that?
Mean, I was definitely surprised to hear about that when
Yeah.
I came down. You know, like I definitely wasn't expecting that. I mean, I've done it before.
Sure.
My friend and I, and that actually went really smooth, but it was just two of us, and we knew exactly what we wanted to do, and we weren't going to change anything or anything like that.
Sure.
So this was something else. This is a whole different animal. But it was cool. It was a pretty surreal experience.
Yeah.
Definitely glad to have been a part of it. But, I mean, I know I've heard of other bands doing that. The only thing that comes to mind right off the top of my head is like Mike Patton with the Peeping Tom record.
Sure.
How he just kind of sent files out to all these guest musicians, and, you know, they never met in person, but they all contributed, and he made a record. Yeah,
I think that's the typical scenario that where that type of situation does happen. It's usually where somebody's doing a solo album, and it's just a matter of, you know, giving the music to the session musicians and saying, here's what you're going to do this.
Right, right.
But in the case of a band like El Nino, that must have been challenging. So what's on the horizon for you? What do you have coming up next?
Well, I'm staying on with the guys at Sound Wars. They decided to hire me on, so...
Now, is that the studio?
Yeah, that's the studio run by Christian and Laz from El Nino.
Oh, okay, great. So you're hired. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm very, very lucky. And from there, you know, just keep working. A new Davola record will be out hopefully by next year. I've been writing like mad, and been actually just last night I was getting all the pre-production for that going, trying to lump all the songs together and see what'll fit and all that. But yeah, I'm sitting on a bunch of music, so I want to get that out as soon as I can.
Sure. Now, is that your primary musical project as far as recording? Do you work with any bands currently that you're in, or are you strictly focused on? It's actually Davola. I think I was saying it wrong earlier.
Yeah, it's actually Davola.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But yeah, that's my main focus. I mean, I assist on sessions here and there.
Sure.
And a lot of projects are pending right now, waiting to hear back from some people. But that's just basically what keeps me busy.
Yeah.
Side of that, I'm also going to be looking for band members to start a live band, so we can actually do this stuff live, which would be great. But yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, for our listeners who want to be able to find you online, can you tell us, do you have a website? Are you on Facebook? How do people find you and keep up with what you're doing?
Okay, for those interested in Davola, they can find me on MySpace. It's www.myspace.com/DAVOLA-metal.
Okay.
And if you're interested, if you're a band and you are interested in getting recorded, you can find our studios, Soundwars Studios, at myspace.com/SoundWarsProductions.
Excellent. Okay. And we're going to play, we played Fate, and we're going to wrap up with Of the Obscene. Is that the correct title? Or
Eye of the Obscene, yes.
Eye of the Obscene. Okay, I thought it was wrong on here. I'll have to fix that. So Aaron Cloutier from Davola, definitely, I would encourage everyone to check out more of your stuff. It's really good, especially if you like sort of technical metal. And the new El Nino disc, I heard a little bit of it the other day. Really, really great stuff. So congratulations on that, man. That's really cool.
Thank you very much, Matt. I appreciate it. Yeah, everybody go out and buy the new El Nino. It's definitely the heaviest record they've ever made.
Absolutely. Well, Aaron, thanks very much for joining us tonight on Remote Transmission.
Thank you for having me. Anytime, man.
All right, we'll talk to you again soon. Take care.
Take care.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so that was Aaron Cloutier from Davola, and like I said, you can hear his engineering work with the vocals on the new El Nino disc. But right now, because we did interview him, I'm not going to play El Nino. I'm going to play another Davola track. So this is Eye of the Obscene. And if you like what you heard tonight, I want to remind everyone that you will be able to download tonight's episode of Remote Transmission later on this evening. So definitely check that out. And if you're listening to this live, please don't go anywhere, because coming up at 10:30, our new the continuation of our new Sunday night lineup, the part of our new Sunday night lineup that actually remained the same, that didn't change. 10:30, we have Stephen James Blake, Countdown to Reality. Steve actually called into Norm Unfiltered earlier, so that was very cool. So kind of had a little preview of what might be on Steve's mind tonight. But it's going to be a short show tonight. It's only going to be an hour, 10:30 to 11:30. So I'm hoping that Steve shows up on time, because we have to be done by 11:30 tonight. So that also means you have to be on time if you want to listen. You can't be like, I'll tune in around 11 or 11:15 and still catch most of the show. No, it's going to be a short one this week. So anyway, this is Eye of the Obscene from Davola, and we will talk at you soon.
again, screaming, bitch, once again, screaming, bitch, once again.